about depletion. And I should demonstrate to you what depletion is all about. I have here an oil field. In the literature, the oil field is always green, you know, and this is a green oil field. And this is the way oil is stored, you know. And you drill, you know, and then you come to the oil fields, and then there's a pressure, and you get out oil. Today's technology is very great because now you can not just drill horizontal, but you can also do drilling like this. So this is the reality when it comes to how to get oil out from the ground from an oil field. But we have a big problem. And the big problem is that there are different people that talk about oil. And we have the economists, yes, they believe they are great. And here I have a representative of the economists. It's a bottle with some black stuff in it. And when they talk about production of oil from an oil field, this is the way they're doing it, you know. It can be so, and so, and so, and it can be full stream of oil all the way, you know. This is the economist way to treat oil when they do their economical models. But the reality is something different. The reality is the scientific oil field. And now I have this green stuff inside the bottle, you know, because that is how oil is stored in small cavities in the rocks. So let's see now, when I'm trying to produce oil from this oil field, what will happen? Getting less and less, you know. Even if the bottle is full of oil, you get less and less. So I put the pressure on it to get more out and so on. This is the reality. So even if you have a lot of oil in your oil field, you cannot produce so much. And this is something that I tried to learn, to get the economists to understand. Unfortunately, I'm not successful there. But if I give a lecture to a high school class, everyone understands it. Yeah. Another important thing is that I'm a professor in Sweden. How can that be? You see, according to old tradition and even sometimes laws, a professor in Sweden could never be fired. And the reason was that he should be allowed to say the truth. Even if the government don't like what he was saying, even if other authorities don't like what the professor is saying, he can never be fired. And that's great, because that's consideration in some other cases. People can be fired here in Germany, and they can be removed. I cannot do that. So that means I'm free to say what I'd like to say, and that's what I'm doing. But a professor is also someone that should be doing research, and this is my research group that it was in September last year. Some senior persons, PhD students, and undergraduate students that is doing work. What I'm going to talk about now is not something that I believe in, something I think is right. It's hardcore science. I have 15 scientific publications in peer-reviewed magazines. And what I'm saying now is really considered to be right. And that's a big difference. Because that was not the case when we started this. Because at that time, when Colin Campbell and Sean Elway started, the data was hidden in the oil companies' closets, in agencies' closets. And the truth was not about to come out. In principle, it's very easy, because you must find oil before you can produce it. And this is the United States, you see. The green curve is the discovery of oil, and the red curve is the production of oil. You see the time span in between is 35 years. And I'm that stupid, so I believe that you must find oil before you can produce it. I'm not an economist. Then the economists are saying that if the price is right, if you have a high price, then if you can go out and drill, then you will find more. Look at the time here around 1986, 87. The price was extremely high. And you see that the producers are trying to get out as much oil as possible because of the high price. But at the same time, in the United States, they were drilling for oil more than they ever had done before. But you see, there was not any discovery in oil. So that statement that if the price is right, there will come out more oil is not right. Then we take the world. This is the world discovery of oil. You see the peak year was in the 60s and 70s, and now it's declining. From this point on, we know that you cannot find so much. So when you talk about the future here, we know what we can produce. It's no secret. It is good. The question is how it will be in time. And that's where we come in and do some research. And this is one of our students. They make the worst case and the best case. And you see the worst case is the plateau production around 85 million barrels per day that we have now. And the best case, what was the best case? The best case was that the oil production in Iraq should come in production as soon as possible. Because in Iraq, we have the only left giant oil field that is not yet in production. So there is a reason why people are interested in Iraq. And last year, in the fall, there was an auction about who should be allowed to produce the oil in the oil field there. And there was a reason for that. What will happen there will be important in future to some margin, but not extremely. How much oil do we have in Iraq? Something like 112 billion barrels is one number, but be generous. Say we have 120 billion barrels of oil. We are consuming every year 30 billion barrels. So 120 divided with 30, how many years is that? 4 years. The total oil in Iraq can support the world